Hey, it's not great, but it's okay. How many times you heard this one from the people around you told you this? And how many times that you actually tell yourself that, hey, it's not great, but it's okay. I heard this one so many times in my life. Either from the people that I know, or even it's from myself. There's many instances in my life that when I do something and instead of going for the grade, I told myself that, oh, hey, this is not bad, well, it's not great, it's not all I wanted, but it's still okay. And sometimes I fall into a trap of accept okay thing, okay standard. But what I realize is, if we go for the extraordinary, if we go for the unstoppable, if we want to become excellent, we cannot accept average. We cannot just accept an okay things. Recently when I was wearing a socks and there's something that's bothered me under my foot. And this experience have happened several times before. But I didn't really pay attention much. I pay attention, but I told myself that it's okay as long as I wear it inside my foot. It's okay, it doesn't matter anymore. And it keep bothering me several times. But it's not to the point that I'm like, okay, fuck, let me figure out what's wrong. And this time I decided that, man, it's bothered me one more time again today. Let me take a look at what's actually wrong inside. And then I pull the socks out and there's something like a part of the socks that didn't make it right. So I cut that part out and I felt so great when I put the socks back in again. You asking, why the heck did you mention a socks scenario here? The reason I mention is, even though the socks bothered me so many times in the past, but I didn't do anything about it. And I even told myself that, hey, well, it's not great, it's bothered me a little bit, but it's okay, it's still usable, I'm still able to walk. But what I didn't realize was, it did take some of my mental space. It did take some of my attention away. And it was bothering me throughout a day. And I see that this experience not far different from our life. Let's look at our relationship. I know that there's many times when we in a toxic relationship, when we in a mediocre, the average relationship, and we talk ourselves out of going for the great, going for exceptional relationship. We told ourselves, yeah, it's not great. Yeah, she's not that beautiful, but she make a lot of money. Yes, she's not that beautiful, but she is a nice person. We know that deep down we want more than that. We accept the average because we told ourselves that. We have the mentality that it's not great, but it's okay. The same thing with friendship. Maybe all of your friends are settle for average, settle for mediocre life, and they talk to you to settle with them. And you know that they are not good for your future and you need to move on. But you talk yourself out so many times to stay with this group because you said that, well, it's not great, but at least I have somebody in my life. At least I have some people to talk bullshit with. At least I know that I'm not alone, I'm not a loser. That's what you talk yourself out of going for the great thing in your life, even though you know that they are no longer serving your purpose, it's no longer serving your goals. It's also happened the same thing with your partner. If your girlfriend or boyfriend no longer serve your purpose, no longer help you to accomplish your goals, you need to move on because they are not the same pace as you. And I know you said like, oh, it's okay, I can do it myself. No. Okay, if you have a choice, would you rather choose a beautiful girl, have a great shit together, and really push you to be the best version of yourself? Or would you rather choose okay girl with an okay beauty, kinda cute, but doesn't really know anything else to do, not really pushing you to go for the great thing in your life? Which one would you rather choose? I know which one is your answer. That's how you should think. You need to go for the great thing and stop settling for the just quote-unquote okay things. We're not here to go for average. We're not here to go for okay thing in our life. And it's the same thing with a job then. If a job is boring, if a job is unfulfilling, if a job causes you to be stressed, why would you put up with that? I mean, many people put up with it because they said, oh, it's boring. Yeah, it's not really what I'm passionate about, but at least just pay the bill. At least have a great insurance. Like, what the fuck? Like, many people accept that. Let me say it one more time. It's not great, but it's okay. Once you accept that mentality, you will settle for everything in your life. Another thing that also related to this concept is clothes. Let's say if you always wear like the old clothes and it doesn't really fit you very well, but you still wear it because you told yourself that, oh, it's okay, I don't really care about my appearance. But you know that every time you put those clothes on, you doesn't feel great about yourself. You feel like shit. But you talk yourself like, hey, it's okay. Appearance is not matter. Appearance doesn't really matter. And you put up with it. Even though you know that it's affect your self-esteem, it's affect your self-confidence. And when it affect your self-confidence, you wouldn't act at your best. You would act shy. That's what I realized. Do you remember the last time when you dressed so well with a clothes that fits you so well? You would act very confident. But how many times that you put up with the bullshit clothes? A clothes that you know that you need to get rid of. But you wear it just because you told yourself that it's not great, but it's okay. And that's applied the same thing with a shoes or a car. Like when I wearing a shoe that is kind of cheap, it doesn't look great, but I still wearing it. Even until now, I still make this mistake. I'm not perfect. But what I realized that when I wear a cheap shoe, a shoe that doesn't make me feel super confident, I doesn't really feel good about myself. But I put up with it because I told myself that, hey, it's cheap and it does a job. It's not that bad. But the most important is it doesn't make me feel confident. That's what we need to look at it. The same thing with a car. Let's say if you have money and you can afford to buy a new car, but you don't want to buy it because you told yourself, it doesn't matter, it doesn't really necessary to buy a new car. This car is still able to get me from point A to point B. Even though that every time you get into a car, you feel like, fuck, I want a better car. Fuck, this it doesn't really make me feel better. Especially when I go pick up a girl. I'm not saying that you go and take all of your saving money and sell everything to buy a new car. No, that's not what I mean. What I'm trying to say is, if a car no longer serves your self-confidence, no longer makes you look good about yourself, you need to find a way to buy a new car. If you don't have the money now, that should be your motivation to say, hey, how can I make more money? How can I create another stream of income? You see, now it's actually push you to work harder, push you to create another stream of income. That's what I'm talking about. If you are not satisfied with something, you need to find a way to working on it. The whole thing about what I'm trying to emphasize is, if you're not happy with your current life, if you're not happy with the stuff that you own, are you continuously working day and night to improve it? I know that in many situations we can't just change right away. But the question always comes down to, are you continuously working day and night to improve it? Stop accepting mentality of, it's not great, but it's okay. No, we are here to be exceptional. We are here to be excellent. We're not here to be average. We're not here to be okay. Bullshit. Fuck that noise. Let me warn you this. Once you accept quote-unquote okay stuff, you will convince others to do the same thing. Makes sense, right? If you accept okay stuff, you will want your friend to do the same things. You will want your family member to settle the same things. That's why most likely that you surround yourself with a lot of mediocre, a lot of average people in your life, and they will drag you down. I'm not saying that you should hate them and should avoid them. What I'm telling you that so that you can have the awareness and spend time with the people that actually push you up, push you to another level, the people that speak an exceptional language. That's what I'm talking about. Talking a high performance language, not an average language. I only accept exceptional things. We only accept exceptional things. We don't settle for an average life. The key takeaway from this episode is build your awareness when you encounter mediocre mentality versus exceptional mentality. When you see yourself that you only accept like, oh, it's okay, it's not great, but it's okay. You have to have that awareness. You need to remind yourself that no, you're not here to accept an okay thing. If you often eat a junk food and you told yourself that you want to improve your health and you want to lose weight, but you eat that junk food because you told yourself that, hey, it doesn't really kill me. Yes, it's unhealthy, but it doesn't really kill me. That's when you need to have that awareness and tell yourself that, hey, I'm here for the exceptional. I'm not here for the okay thing. That's what you need to remind yourself. If you see yourself dating somebody seriously, and you know that she not at the same your level, she not 100%, 200% of what you want, and you know that there's a little voice telling you that, hey, she's not great, but it's okay. That's when you have to remind yourself that, hey, this is not what I signed up for, and I need to move on. That's what the conversation that you need to tell yourself that it's a reminder for you when you fail to follow an exceptional life. For you to wake up and go for the thing that you want in life. It's okay to do something temporary, but your mindset should be focused on striving for more. Remember that every time you see yourself accept the quote-unquote, it's not great, but it's okay things, remind yourself that you need to level up and perform at the higher levels. I know it's easy to fall into a trap of it's not great, but it's okay mindset. But I hope that you remind yourself daily. Remind yourself every time when you're about to accept that okay thing in your life. Because remember, you are here to become an exceptional. It's not easy. It will not be an easy journey. But that's why we are here. We are here to do a great thing in our life. And oftentimes, they are not easy. If you got a value out of this episode, please share on your social media and leave a great review. That will help a world finds me easier. And until next time, never forget that you guys are awesome. Thank you.